They're all in their hoodies. It looks a spiteful
There's
place.
Cruz.
But I don't think there'll be any ever stunned at that last result. I don't think they'll be stunned at this one. Listen to Cruz before the fight. He was going to quit unless a fight come up. His wife was begging him to back up boxing.
Yeah.
He's talking that he'll give it his all tonight on one defence and he's out.
He'll go down, out on his shield.
I think he still wins inside 5 rounds myself.
Yeah, there's Groner looking, well, he was angry. He was upset, I think, with the Roshy Warren result, maybe with the Roshy Warren performance. Fantastic short film we showed from our colleagues at Showtime. Went out and made a film for us. An interview with Adrian Broner was quite sensational. Just to remind you, if you're watching and wondering why I'm talking because there is no ring walk. There is no ring walk. We're going to go over now. We're going to hear the last of the introductions. They don't do big introductions. They don't even actually have a ring announcer on the PBC. They don't give out belts, and they don't have. I don't think they have ring cards even. Ring card girls even. That's the way they do their business. Some people like it, some people don't. Robert Easter getting a fine reception. Barry, Steve and I think this will be shortish. Let's go over back to the Huntington Centre in Toledo for the second of our world title fights and the third of our fights here on Box Nation. It has been a bumper night since 2 o'clock. Don't go anywhere. It's this fight. Enjoy every second of it.
$12 rounds for the IBF Lightweight Championship.
Let's go, Blue.
Robert Easter Jr. Over 8,000 fans in attendance here at the Huntington Center in Toledo. What a homecoming. The first time he has fought as a pro, and it's in his first title defense.
Don't give you instruction in dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch him up. Good luck to both of you. What else would they?
Our main event for Rashid Warren, his first title defense was unsuccessful. Robert Easter Jr. embracing with his father. He said that the reason why he got into boxing is because his father took him to the gym when he was a very young boy, and he started boxing at the age of 7. Lo and behold, now here in Toledo, the biggest fight the city has ever seen. Will it be a joyous occasion, or will it be one that sees Luis Cruz spoiling the homecoming? Robert Easter Jr., 26 years of age, captured the world title with a win over Richard Comey back in September in Pennsylvania. Hundreds drove 7 hours to make that drive, and now here in their backyard, a big occasion. A right hand that backs up Luis Cruz by Robert Easter Jr. Easter Jr. has a son on the way in June. He says he won't have a son boxing, but I'm sure that his son is going to be told about this massive event here in Toledo. Everyone is standing here at the Huntington Center. I love hometown environments like this. It makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. He's a very young, he's a humble young man. He has the skills to pay the bills, quote unquote. Now can he make this first title defense a successful one? Luis Cruz going to the body. If you're Luis Cruz, you have to realize he is going to have to withstand an early onslaught, because Easter Jr., you have to sense, is amped up and electrified by this capacity crowd here at the Huntington Center. And a right hand that clipped Luis Cruz, and Cruz just looked at him. But that was a powerful straight right hand down the middle by Robert Easter Jr. 80 seconds left in round 1. Robert Easter Jr. said that I'm thinking about a 4th or 5th round stoppage. He's looking good so far. And the lightweight division is absolutely loaded. You have the WBC lightweight champion Mikey Garcia, who defeated Dejas Latijan back on January 28th by vicious knockout. Coming up March 25, you have Terry Flanagan, or Jorge Linares, going head-to-head against Anthony Crolla in Manchester. And a couple weeks after that, Terry Flanagan against Peter Petrov. So the lightweight division is going to shake itself out a little bit. And Robert Easter Jr., when I asked him about unifying division yesterday in fighter meetings, he said, can I fight all 3 of them at the same time? Well, I don't think that's allowed in boxing. but he is certainly providing that he's big box office business here in Toledo. That was a trip, a jab to the abdomen of Robert Easter Jr. by Luis Cruz. Impressed by the jab and the hand speed of Robert Easter Jr. He's only 26 years of age. Has a lot of talent. Closing moments of round one. Robert Easter Jr. would say it's a feeling out process. That ends round one. Luis Cruz goes back to the corner. Taking a look at some of the work here it was a trip because the left foot stepped on the left foot of Robert Easter Jr. They got their feet tangled up. Robert Easter Jr. seems to be very relaxed. He had a large amateur career, 230 bouts, 213 and 17 his record. He was an alternate on the U.S. Olympic team at 132 pounds. He is the first world champion ever in the history of Toledo. They had a gold medalist, Walt Wilbert McClure, in 1960. Devin Vargas, the captain of the 2004 Olympic team, but has not really done anything significant as a professional. He actually told one of the members of our staff years ago on October 16th that he was going to win a world title within a year, and he did that in 11 months. Round number 2, this one is scheduled for 12. Ray Forrest joining ringside here at a jam-packed Huntington Center in Toledo. Well over 8,000 fans have made their way to support their first ever world champion, Robert Easter Jr. Luis Cruz, though, has come with his sights set on shocking the world. He was a massive underdog heading into this fight, but the man nicknamed El Artesano, the craftsman, says it doesn't surprise him, and nor does he pay attention to it. Easter with a very sharp jab. It's down the middle, and then he uses it. He changes levels with his jab as well. I'd like to see Easter extend more on his jab because it's almost like a piston-like jab when he throws it at full speed. And as Cruz came forward, he got tagged with the left hook, and now Easter goes and isolates the body. Cruz loading up on the left hook as Easter stalking and walking him down. A man down, that is one of the mantras for Robert Easter Jr. He says man down, meaning he's going to put his man down. So far he hasn't put Cruz down, but if he connects with more left hooks like that, he could put Cruz down. Now Cruz with his back against the ropes, and Easter opening up and shooting the right hand that missed. You can just tell the size difference. Easter is extremely big, and he said later on in his career he could see himself going up to 140 pounds and campaigning in the junior welterweight division, but he says he's still comfortable here in the lightweight division. He wants to unify 135 pounds, and then he will ascend to 140. And what's interesting about that is it was similar to what Mikey Garcia said following his win over Dehats Latichinen back on January 28th. That's a matchup to make at the end of the year. 30 seconds to go, and Easter in control as Luis Cruz hasn't landed anything significant. And Easter is active, but he's taking his time. He's not fighting erratic. He realizes that Cruz has come to play the role of spoiler here tonight. The second round. Coming up, Danny Garcia will square off against Keith one-time Thurman. Both fighters undefeated. Going ahead and helping to unify somewhat of the welterweight division. What a matchup that'll be at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Also, rising super welterweight sensation Erickson Hammer Lubin goes head-to-head against Jorge Cota. And the fans have come out to support Robert Easter Jr. Look at this response for Toledo's very own. Now, Robert Easter Jr. has done a lot of interviews and a lot of press. He has really, he embodies what Toledo is all about, a hard-working city where they come out and they just, you know, they do whatever they have to do in order to provide a good life for their families. Robert Easter Jr.'s father did that for him, and Easter Jr. will do the same for his son that'll be born in the early part of June. Round number 3 between Robert Easter Jr. and Luis Cruz. Cruz hasn't landed anything significant as Easter is walking down Cruz with his jab. Let's see if he can stay true to his prediction and wipe out Cruz in the 4th or 5th round. Just over a minute has elapsed in round 3. Easter very tall for being a lightweight. He's 5'11". Using his jab, doubling up on it. He put the right hand over it, but Cruz got out of the way. For Luis Cruz, he should be focusing in and trying to attack the body of Robert Easter Jr. An uppercut as Cruz came on the inside. He was countered with an uppercut. Easter likes his left hooks as well to mix into those punches. Easter was in a very tough fight when he won the world title against Richard Comey, and when asked about his observations, he said, I got hit too much. And I had to dig down deep and really show my fortitude, but it taught me a lot about myself, but I do realize that I was hit too much, and I've been working on my defense in preparation for this fight against Luis Cruz. And so far, Easter hasn't been hit with anything of validity, at least through the first 2 rounds plus of this world title defense. Wherever you're joining us around the world, thank you very much for tuning in to tonight's event. A big year coming up for Premier Boxing Champions. Deontay Wilder, Gerald Washington, February 25 in Birmingham, Alabama. The following week, watch for Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman for the welterweight title. Cruz attacking Robert Easter Jr., but Easter Jr. shrugs it off and then answers back with a couple left hooks to back up Luis Cruz. Cruz is launching in, and then he gets tapped with a jab coming forward. Easter Jr. staying on, as they like to call it, boxing, the jab, or the stick, is how they explain it in the corners. He's using that stick as a measuring tool, trying to figure out the range, and that ends round number 3. It's all Robert Easter Jr. through the first 3 rounds. There you see some footage when Robert Easter Jr. was a young man.
Chris, there you go.
Extensive amateur career as 230 bouts, 213 and 17. He was a member of the U.S. Olympic team as an alternate on that team, the same that boasted Jamel Herring, and also Rasheed Warren, his father in his corner. round number 4. Robert Easter Jr., the defending IBF lightweight champion, with his first title defense against Luis Cruz. Robert Easter Jr. has only been 10 rounds twice. Once against Angel Hernandez and the other against Richard Colvey that he won by split decision. 12 of his 18 bouts have concluded within 3 rounds, so this would be a later than usual knockout. That isn't customary for Robert Easter Jr., but he certainly has the ability and the knockout power to prove so on his dossier. Cruz is following Robert Easter Jr., but it doesn't seem like Cruz has anything substantial or significant behind his punches, whereas Easter, when he wants to land, is finding his home when it comes to his punches. But for Easter, it's like one shot at a time, but I'm wondering when we're going to see more combinations out of Robert Easter Jr. He's very dangerous when we see more combinations. When he uses the jab and then he slides the right hand over the top, or we see some uppercuts or some of these vicious left hooks that he has as a part of his arsenal in his repertoire. And uppercut there we saw that shook Luis Cruz, and Cruz very wide-eyed, staying in the pocket. Halfway mark of round 4. Adrian Broder, who takes on Adrian Granados next week in his hometown of Cincinnati. He's front row, checking out and watching Robert Easter Jr. Stinging shot for Easter. 70 seconds left, round 4 for Robert Easter Jr. and Luis Cruz. Cruz steps up and he lands a left hook, and Easter just kind of looks at him. That was the best punch of the fight for Luis Cruz, and Robert Easter Jr. didn't even flinch. And Easter was trying to slide in that uppercut, but coming forward is Luis Cruz. He goes a little bit downstairs. That was blocked by Robert Easter Jr. 40 seconds left, round 4. Cruz is trying to crouch down, and Easter in no danger, using his jab. And for Robert Easter Jr., I wonder, as he's doing well, he isn't losing any part of the fight, but is he having sort of a quote-unquote adrenaline dump? He enjoyed the walkout. He said he was going to savor every moment of the walkout, and he's doing very well, but I wonder when he's going to turn up the intensity. And you know the fans are ready to explode, and a nice uppercut they got from the guard of Luis Cruz. But is the energy kind of plateauing a little bit because of you know that he had to be emotionally charged with this being the biggest event, the biggest fight that Toledo has ever seen. As we get set and conclude the round. When it comes to everything, when it comes to Premier Boxing Champions, follow us at Premier Boxing on social media. A very big 2017 planned. Also, there you see Luis Cruz, who's being worked on. Some swelling underneath the right eye of Luis Cruz. Luis Cruz had a very tough matchup back on April 19th of last year against Ivan Redkach. He put Redkach down early in the fight, but Redkach was able to garner the victory. Resume with action here at a jam-packed Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio, round number 5. We're a third of the way through of this World Championship matchup for the IBF Lightweight World Championship. A nice uppercut, stinging uppercut that found its own for Robert Easter Jr. And Easter Jr. said he was going to end this fight in 4 or 5, so he's looking to make his prediction reign true. As you saw Jake Donovan's unofficial scorecard, Easter Jr. is ahead comfortably, 40-36. If you're Easter too, in order to open up and use your power punches, I'd like to see double and triple jabs. because his jab is effective when he throws it. Also, there have been parts of this fight where Easter is kind of held up on the jab and not fully extended. He has a significant reach advantage, 76 inches if I stand corrected, and he can use that. So Easter is kind of pawing with the jab. If he extends a little bit more, it could bring the end to Luis Cruz, because then he can mix in that straight right that is very dangerous for him, and then there's some uppercuts and hooks as well. But again, he has the weight of Toledo on his shoulders, and I think most of Toledo is actually in this building here at the Huntington Center. I actually spoke with one of the heads of the Huntington Center. He said, when I opened up this building years ago, I dreamed of moments like tonight, and finally my dream has come true, and it's Robert Easter Jr. who made it come true, and also everyone involved in making this promotion happen. Just over the halfway mark of round number 5 between Luis Cruz and Robert Easter Jr. Easter with the jab and snap the head back of Luis Cruz. This crowd is so energized. They want to see something special. They saw something special in Reading, Pennsylvania, when Robert Easter Jr. won the world title with a split decision over Richard Colmay. They saw something special. Nice left hook there by Easter Jr. They saw something special on October 2nd of last year, a crushing right hand over the top when they held a ticker tape parade for Robert Easter Jr. Over 50,000 people attended. He was given the key to the city and was honored by the political brass here in Toledo, the mayor, and also state representatives. And now Easter Jr. opening up. He's picking up his activity level. Left hook there by Luis Cruz. And now Easter Jr. ties up for a brief moment as they will separate. Lunging left hook by Luis Cruz, and Easter slides back. 10 seconds to go, round 5. This one will likely see a 6th round. That's the end of the 5th.
That was quick.
Take a look at some of the work here as Luis Cruz using his jab, but Robert Easter Jr., that jab that continues to pepper Luis Cruz. And Luis Cruz with a welt out underneath the right eye, and then Easter moving forward with some left hooks. You see that give me some pressure. Give me some pressure. Go downstairs. They want Luis Cruz to go to the body, and more pressure is what they are imploring. The Las Piernas Puerto Rico native. Robert Easter Jr. has been working on that right eye of Luis Cruz. Some swelling, a couple of cuts, but they're not big. Nice left hook there by Robert Easter Jr. Round 6, this one is scheduled for 12. And Easter Jr., he's picking up his offense as we begin the 6th round. The right hand down the middle that landed for Luis Cruz. Robert Easter Jr. walking right through it. They tie up, and Robert Easter is going to try to break away and then unload a straight right as he did, very close distance. Easter clubbing right hands. Now he's digging to the body. Is the 26-year-old. The right hand that put Luis Cruz against the ropes. And now Robert Easter Jr. showing his hand speed and his power. A crushing right hand over the top, followed by a left hook. Robert Easter Jr. sensing trying to bring it in to Luis Cruz. Easter Jr. This is the most active we've seen Robert Easter Jr. in the first minute of any round so far. Now he's looking to make a definitive statement here in the 6th round. In terms of the lightweight division, shaking itself up, Mikey Garcia made the first statement back on January 28th. So now it's Robert Easter Jr.'s opportunity to make a statement of his own here in his hometown. The first time he has had a professional fight here, and incidentally, it happens to be his first World Championship defense. A right hand that staggers Luis Cruz for a brief moment. Just over the halfway mark, and Robert Easter Jr. throwing that right hand down the middle. Another one. How Luis Luis Cruz is standing up with those clean shots by Robert Easter Jr. Really befuddles me. 70 seconds left, round 6. Luis Cruz is a tough customer. Just ask Ivan Redcash. And Easter unloading on that left hook. Well, the prevailing opinion in boxing circles is that from a hometown standpoint, Robert Easter Jr. is a box office star here in Ohio. The question is, can he be a star when it comes to being a bona fide and a champion who can unify the lightweight division when you have the likes of Mikey Garcia and also Jorge Linares, Anthony Crolla, and Terry Flanagan out there. Easter and Iscap, they believe that they have all the tools necessary. A left hook to the body that wobbled Luis Cruz. Another left hook by Easter. And now Luis Cruz, he's taking the shots well, but you know he's feeling the effects of every one of those power punches by the 26-year-old Robert Easter Jr. And that brings an end to round number 6. A left hook that wobbled Luis Cruz, sends him back. And some great camera work by our staff and the body work by Robert Easter Jr. He really was mixing his punches. Going to the body, he focused in that right hand. It didn't hit clean, but man, oh man, with the power and the force, it certainly shook Luis Cruz. And the jab, that shows a lot of maturity and poise out of a 26-year-old in the sense that he's fighting here in his hometown, and he goes back to his fundamentals of using the jab. And his family and friends, they are enjoying themselves. They actually call themselves the Bunny Team.
Again, off that right hand.
They say he's TBT, the Bunny Team is what Robert Easter Jr. and all of his fans, they call themselves. So he's extremely innovative, is the 26-year-old. He does it when it comes to his boxing. Round 7. And Luis Cruz is making Robert Easter Jr. in, and he's forcing him to work. Round 7. And Easter, there's some activity here. He has Luis Cruz against the ropes, and now he focuses on the body, hammering away on Luis Cruz. Some big punches now by Robert Easter Jr. close distance. A right hand, Luis Cruz answers back. But Robert Easter Jr., as the fans come to their feet, want to see something special. They want to see their hometown son bring an end to Luis Cruz and get the stoppage. And Cruz is still in the lion's den, figuratively and literally. A right hand over the top by Robert Easter Jr. And Easter Jr. continues to throw punches at close distance. He hammers away on the body of Luis Cruz. And now referee in charge, Lonnie Scott, will separate them. But Robert Easter Jr. wants to pound right away. 1:45 remaining, round 7.
Let's go, work there. Breaks up. No punch.
Luis Cruz didn't come here to Toledo, Ohio from Puerto Rico just to lay down. He hasn't done anything of significance, but he is still a chance and has an opportunity. But so far it has been the Robert Easter Show, who's putting on a clinic thus far here at jam-packed Huntington Center. A straight right down the middle that momentarily wobbled Luis Cruz. Wherever you're joining us, thank you so much. This has been a tremendous atmosphere here at Toledo, Ohio at the Huntington Center for the homecoming of Robert Easter Jr. It is a special environment. The fans here are hoping they get a special performance and a special finish that Robert Easter Jr. has had during the course of his career. 30 seconds remaining in round 7. Easter popping his jab, going back to when he started off in the round. Throwing a heavy assortment of power punches. Now he's going back to his jab and the basic fundamentals. Trying to sneak in an uppercut, but that missed. Closing stages, round 7 between the IBF World Champion Robert Easter Jr. and Luis Cruz. That's the end of the round. And his supporters are here. They are quite happy. We observed some of the early work of Robert Easter Jr. in the 7th. Easter came out. He was very focused and picked up the intensity to start the round. He tried to get Luis Cruz out of there, but Cruz, tough customer, and Easter Jr., he's over the chalk talking to Austin Trott and his supporters. Oh, he's a showman, is Robert Easter Jr. from the walkouts to his style inside the ring, his trunks. But you know what? At the end of the day, he's a humble young man. He loves Toledo, Ohio.
Hands up, though, all right? Then to the body. Let's go, let's go. Agua.
Round 8. This one is scheduled for 12.
Agua.
You see Jake Donovan's unofficial scorecard, 69-64. Jake Donovan, one of the best scribes in the land, no matter where you go around the world when it comes to boxing. Also, he has a very keen eye in regards to the judging as well. He has Robert Easter Jr. ahead, 69-64. I concur. Ray Flores joining you here inside in Toledo. Robert Easter Jr. trying to finish off Luis Cruz. And as I look at the lightweight division, I know I keep bringing it up at length, but there are so many fun fights to make. Mikey Garcia, who really put on a show against Slatijan and knocking him unconscious. You have Robert Easter Jr., who's 26 years of age, who is bringing a ton of excitement and energy to Toledo, Ohio. You put 8,000 people in any arena when it comes to combat sports, that is absolutely massive. And that's as of about an hour ago. There could be more than 8,000 people here. Under 2 minutes to go in this 8th round. You have Jorge Linares going head-to-head against Anthony Crowlard, Manchester, March 25th. Terry Flanagan, April 8th against Peter Petrov. Love watching Peter Petrov fight. He went ahead and won the Boxino tournament a couple of years ago and has been waiting for a moment like that. And then you have this young man, Robert Easter Jr., just past the midway point of round 8, who is really making a name for himself, and also from a height standpoint, stylistically, he's a tough opponent as well. 5'11", 76-inch reach, has power behind his punches. 14 of his 18 victories have come inside the distance. He's calculated here in this 8th round, but convention of wisdom would suggest if Easter picks up more of the intensity and starts to go into the body more, maybe he could systematically break down Luis Cruz. But Cruz is still in the fight. He isn't, again, he lays a right hand, kind of a soft right hand on the body of Robert Easter Jr., but a nice straight right down the middle by Robert Easter Jr. And Easter moves forward, trying to stay away at the range of Luis Cruz. 30 seconds left. Cruz hammered away on the body, but it was blocked.
Work out, let him go.
Robert Easter Jr. gets caught with a straight right. Right hand that landed for Luis Cruz, and overhand right. That ends the 8th round.
Vamos, dámele agua, dámele aire, dámele aire, vamos. Dame agua.
Come on, drink some water. Here's some of the replay from round 8. A steady stream of the jab from the 26-year-old Robert Easter Jr. Sometimes you don't have to use things that are unorthodox. It could be simple. And Mikey Garcia spoke about it. He says his favorite punch is the jab, and Robert Easter Jr. is using his jab to his advantage. He has the length and he fights tall. That's another thing that I like about Robert Easter Jr. There's sometimes when a fighter has the height and the reach advantage, they fight small. They fight in a short manner. And an example of that in recent memory is Sammy Vasquez in the welterweight division. He fought, instead of using his distance and fighting like a tall fighter, he likes to mix it up on the inside. And sometimes when you fight a puncher, it can cost you. And Robert Easter Jr., even though he's tasting the best of Luis Cruz, he's still not engaging in Cruz's wheelhouse and is not fighting an inside fight. And Vasquez lost to Luis Collazo because he was in the pocket and decided to fight a fight too much in the favor and at the range of Collazo. Robert Easter Jr., doesn't matter who he fights, he does not get into that kind of a fight. He uses distance, uses his range. At times, he fights on the inside, but they're on his terms. Under 2 minutes to go, Robert Easter Jr., getting back to my point, he fights tall, and when this fight is being fought at his pace, but you know what, with Easter, when he picks up his activity level, he's world class now, but even more so, he's just one of the best in the lightweight division when he goes ahead and uses seconds to go in round 9. Robert Easter Jr. having his way with Luis Cruz. Using his jab is Robert Easter Jr. He went from a hook upstairs down to the body. Now Robert Easter Jr. is walking down. He's stalking Luis Cruz. A couple of right hands over the top, and now he's really picking it up, moving downstairs, and Cruz crafty enough to get out of danger. Under 50 seconds left in this 9th round. A right hand that snuck through the guard of Robert Easter Jr. in the corner of Luis Cruz is saying, move your head. Please, come on. You got to use your speed. A double jab, Luis Cruz holds up as Robert Easter Jr. went back for a brief moment. He was concerned about being countered. Robert Easter Jr., big heavy shots, thudding blows. 15 seconds left. The right hand placed on the left cheekbone of Luis Cruz. Under 10 seconds left. It appears as if we're going to go to a 10th round between Luis Cruz and Robert Easter Jr. here at the Huntington Center, jam-packed here in Toledo. That's the end of the 9th.
Lávame eso, dame agua, lávame el mouthpiece, dalo. Vamos, lávame el mouthpiece. Vamos, tranquilo, caballo, que estamos poniéndole. Paso. Vamos, vamos. Nuevo, hombre nuevo, papá, hombre nuevo. Vamos, estamos bien, vamos, aguanta aquí. Oíste, estamos buscando lo que queremos, buscando el título. Punto. Seguimos poniéndole presión. Seguimos poniéndole presión. ¿Ok? Seguimos poniéndole presión. Ya. Ya le puse ahí. Vamos. Va bien. Para acá, para acá. ¿Cómo estamos? Estamos ahí. Muy bien, ¿verdad?
That's all he doing. Okay, let's do this, man. Let's go. Let's pick this round up again. This about, I think, 9 or 10. So let's go pick it up. Man, he ready to go. Quiet as kept.
The 10th round. This one is scheduled for 12 between Robert Easter Jr. and Luis Cruz. Robert Easter Jr., oh my goodness, a big right hand that sends Luis Cruz down to the canvas. Oh my, you saw the water and the sweat bounce off the head of Luis Cruz. Oh my goodness, what a bazooka-like right hand by Robert Easter Jr. And now Cruz is in big trouble. Two right hands by Robert Easter Jr. Easter Jr. hammering away on Luis Cruz. Can the Toledo native make this a successful homecoming? Easter Jr. is throwing everything in the kitchen sink, and Luis Cruz. Robert Easter Jr. And now Chance. More body work by Robert Easter Jr. He started off extremely strong, and now Cruz retreating backwards. Can Robert Easter Jr. get the finish that he desires? Another right hand. Lonnie Scott, the referee in charge, is watching Luis Cruz because Cruz is taking a ton of punishment in the first 80 seconds of this 10th round. Can he get the finish he was looking for? Another right hand that connects. Another one. Robert Easter Jr. is making Luis Cruz eat right hands. And again, big-time power shots by the 26-year-old. It is a moment like this that Robert Easter Jr. will be telling his son that will be born in the month of June, look what your daddy did. 1:05 to go in round 10. Can Easter Jr. vanquish Luis Cruz? A straight right, followed by a right hook by Robert Easter Jr. close distance. Looking to mix in an uppercut. Cruz is still throwing. Give him all the credit in the world. He is a very tough and rugged customer. But tonight he's fighting somebody who is just athletically and also boxing-wise far superior than him tonight. A jab that snapped back there to Luis Cruz. 25 seconds left. And now Robert Easter Jr. really pouring it on. He wants to separate as Luis Cruz ties him up. And now Robert Easter Jr. looking for that opening, an overhand right. And Easter Jr. more big shots by the Toledo, Ohio native. And a left hook. And now Luis Cruz, he goes to the referee as to stay. Hey, he's hitting me in the back of the head. A straight right buckles the knees of Luis Cruz. Round number 10 over. The best round of the fight for Luis Cruz. And look at this response from the fans here in Toledo. Robert Easter Jr., that was the shot that sent down Luis Cruz. You saw the sweat in the water snap off the head. It was a bazooka-like right hand, a delayed reaction that sent Cruz down to the canvas. The jab, a stiff jab, and Luis Cruz.
Oye, de este 11, 11. 11. Vamos, vamos, ahí. ¿Cómo estamos? Vamos allá. ¿Estamos bien?
We're okay, we're okay.
Vivo, vivo, sacude.
Some words of encouragement there by the corner of Luis Cruz. And what I overheard them saying is, listen, you've got to relax. Round 11, this one, 2 more rounds. And Lonnie Scott is going to make Robert Easter Jr. He has some loose tape. And now some more tape. They need more tape on the left glove of Robert Easter Jr. And you would gather to say that this favors Luis Cruz in the sense that he can have an extra 15 to 20 seconds to get his legs underneath him. And he comes out throwing a right cross. And Robert Easter Jr. really looked sensational in that 10th round. But everybody believed that he would be able to dispatch of Luis Cruz in the first third, at least by the first half of the fight. So it is a very good performance, but a finish early would have made it a great performance. He isn't losing any moments of the round, and he shakes his head as to say, no, 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 this is my hometown, and you're not going to beat me tonight. And you know, Robert Easter Jr., at 26, he has this, his mentality and his personality suggests that he dares to be great. As we spoke about early in the fight, when I asked him about the, Terry Flanagan and Jorge Linares, Anthony Corolla, Mikey Garcia, he said, I want to fight all three of them, or all four of them, at the same time. When can we set it up? So that says to me that he dares to be great, and he wants to be a staple in the lightweight division and a championship staple for the next year, a year and a half. He says at the end of his career, he'll probably finish it at 140, maybe 147. 65 seconds left, round 11. Robert Easter Jr. is enjoying this as well as he should. Talk about hometown fights. Deontay Wilder has a hometown matchup coming up in a few weeks in Birmingham, Alabama. I'll be there for that one. Looking forward to his title defense against Gerald Washington. Wilder been out for some months because of an injury that he suffered when he defended his title against Chris Arreola. 30 seconds left, round 11. If I told you that Luis Cruz would see the 12th round, I would have said highly unlikely. But, and a right hand, and he may not get to the 12th round. Oh, I'm a little bit too close. Oh my goodness, what a shot. A devastating blow by Robert Easter Jr. And Cruz is on Bobble Street. And Lonnie Scott making him walk to him, and that ends the 12th. He barely survives going to the 12th round, and Robert Easter Jr. looks at his crowd, his family and friends, and he's relishing this moment. Let's take a look, and I spoke too soon almost. What a right hand by Robert Easter Jr., and then he follows it up with a left hook that put him on the seat of his pants. A heavy right hand over the top, followed by a left hook for good measure. And you know what? Robert Easter Jr. did exactly what they tell you. Do not stop fighting until the referee tells you to. And Luis Cruz was sort of stumbling around, and Robert Easter Jr. helped him and assisted him to the canvas with that left hook.
Open that. Here.
Fans rise to their feet for the 12th and final round. And Robert Easter Jr. braces with his father one more time. And if he told me Luis Cruz was going to make it to the 12th round, I would have said, yeah, probably not. But lo and behold, due to the heart and soul and the fortitude, the will to win, he's remaining. And he has entered the 12th round. Whether or not he will finish the fight and take it to the distance is another story, with the way Robert Easter Jr. has looked here in the 10th and the 11th. There is a lot of big fights to be made for Robert Easter Jr. following this matchup, assuming he stays out of something miraculous from Luis Cruz. And now Luis Cruz is moving around the ring because he's trying to get his legs underneath him. And he's in survival mode. And Robert Easter Jr. is saying, hey, come to me. Come on. He's opening himself up a little bit more. And now Robert Easter Jr. going to work. Look at the hand speed, the hooks. He's placing those right hands over the top. And now he's putting on a show for well over 8,000 people here at the Huntington Center in Toledo. Toledo, stand up. in this IBF World Title defense of Robert Easter Jr. against the challenger, Luis Cruz. And Cruz should be commended for standing up to the assault of Robert Easter Jr. But if you're Robert Easter, go out and finish it. Put forth, you put the people in the seats, and now send them home saying they saw a stoppage. They were close to one, but now Robert Easter Jr. has 58 seconds to close out Luis Cruz. It's a very good performance, don't get me wrong, but it could be that much sweeter. Robert Easter Jr. says making 135 is no problems, but he's got a sweet tooth. Well, it would be that much sweeter for him from a record tempo. What a right hand that puts down Luis Cruz. If he's able to stop Cruz, and will Cruz rise to his feet? Lonnie Scott counting. Cruz comes to his feet, and Lonnie Scott saying, "Walk to me." 24 seconds. Easter Jr. jumped on the turnbuckle. He thinks he can close it out. He's got 15 seconds to do so. A right hand, big right hand by Robert Easter Jr. And he's trying everything in his power to finish off this fight. Final 10 seconds of Robert Easter Jr.'s defense against Luis Cruz. And that ends the fight. And now Luis Cruz throwing a couple of punches after the bell, but that was accidental. And Robert Easter Jr. looked terrific tonight. As we will go to the scorecards, this was a special moment, and the result will certainly be special. And he is savoring every bit of this 8,000 plus crowd here at the Huntington Center in Toledo.
The bell rung, yeah. Yeah, the bell rung, and then they kind of started.
He won every second of the fight, dropped his man 3 times towards the end. A fantastic final punch. Should he have been spared the last couple of rounds, Cruz, Barry and Steve?
Yeah, I think so. Steve was saying straight away he didn't need to go out for that last round, and he was spot on. I think Cruz was brave, and he made it awkward and made it hard for Easter, but I think I was disappointed in Easter. He won well enough, but I was disappointed in him.
That guy was there for him to knock out. That guy was there for him to flatten in 5 or 6 rounds.
And he's got the power to do it, but he gets too close to the target constantly. And I understand when you want to throw it because it's close to the target, but when you're throwing hooks and long right hands, you've got to be as far as when you're tall, you've got to be as far as you possibly can.
And especially from about round 6 or 7, when Cruz was tiring, marking up, getting hurt, and planting himself in a corner. And not just once didn't Easter give himself the time, he didn't give himself the time 30, 40 times, Barry.
Well, it might have been fatigue with slowing him down, but no, the knockdown in the 11th round was a cracking right hand, and a left hook to finish to actually put him on the floor. But when he made a bit of distance for himself, it made all the difference. You could see him because he was trying to throw hooks close, and the elbow was facing the floor rather than the elbow being up over the glove and punching down.
So, Stevie, not the homecoming that perhaps he wanted, but I've got to tell you, that crowd is my favourite man. Lunatic crowd, absolutely brilliant. Like an old schoolboy final from the 70s.
It was a bear pit.
Well, it was a bear pit.
You were saying during the fight, why are they bother putting chairs in there?
We're not sure they had chairs.
Hostile. That goes top of the chart. That rivals Madison Square Garden when it's full of 20,000 Puerto Ricans.
But there's anything wrong with 20,000 Puerto Ricans in anyone's garden, including Madison's. But let me just tell you, let's go over straight to the result.
And Judge Glenn Feldman has the bout 117 to 108 for your winner by unanimous decision. And still, the lightweight champion from Toledo, Ohio, Robert "Trouble" Easter Jr.
So a unanimous decision there, and if you've been following this fight on on
Robert Easter
Twitter,
Jr.
you'll know that in America they have had unbelievable problems. Various journalists over there, Big Dan Raphael, saying that in one round they went after a minute to a break. They just kept coming back from the adverts 30 seconds late. They went to one round after 2 minutes. They just came in halfway through the intros. A little bit of some of the production difficulties that we've overcome here, I think, tonight, rather splendidly, if you don't mind me saying so, Steve-o. We've